Before that, however, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to lend your attention to the screen as we show to you a second documentary on 25 years of unparalleled achievements by the Otumfuo II Foundation. Enjoy.
The king of Asante Kingdom, Otumfuo II, on his ascension to the golden stool as the 16th occupant, established a social intervention outfit at Menchia Palace, the Otumfuo Education Fund, in 1999. In addition to the Education Fund, other initiatives were set up over the years such as the Sewa Ampim Foundation for Children and Otumfuo II Charity Foundation were added to support the various initiatives of the king. All these metamorphosed into Otumfuo II Foundation.
So sometime after he became Otumfuo, when I got a call from one Mr. Osubuati, so he called me and said that Otumfuo wanted to meet me. So then we fixed a date and we went, and he told me that he wanted to start the Otumfuo Education Fund, and that he wanted me to be part of it, and that he wanted me to be the chairman of the Otumfuo Education Fund. And so soon after that, there was the inauguration of the fund on 13th of November 1999. So the three universities, the three main ones, so Ulagan, KBST, and K-Post. And then at one time we had about 200 students from every institution in terms of their fees. Then we helped also their schools in terms of infrastructure. We had to build some classrooms and things, and provided some furniture and other things. And so we tried in that way to help the Otumfuo Education Fund.
My name is Dr. Mrs. Mercy Bedu, a senior lecturer, Department of Chemistry, KNUST. I'm happy to share with you all that I was among the very first beneficiaries of the Otumfuo II Education Fund in 1999 when it was launched. We applied for this fund to enable my parents support the payment of my school fees as an undergraduate student at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology.
I am Ajimai Boatin Eric, and at time I was academic for 6 years in the high school. I was in the university in the year 2001-2002 academic year when I had a scholarship from this fund. In fact, at that time I was having a financial challenge. If it was not the scholarship, I couldn't have even convinced the broker.
I am Professor Edward Brenya, Head of History and Political Studies Department at KNUST. I'm a proud beneficiary of Otumfuo Education Fund, and through that fund, I managed to get 3 masters and a PhD from US. On this occasion of the 23rd anniversary, Otumfuo, I want to say God bless you and continue to enlarge you and use you for the great things that God has put in you for the benefit of Asantuma and the whole world. Congratulations for your continuous visionary leadership, and God bless you.
After a decade of social impact on the lives of thousands of students from basic to tertiary level through receipt of scholarships as well as provision of educational infrastructure by the Otumfuo Education Fund, His Royal Majesty established the Otumfuo Osei II Charity Foundation in 2009 to serve as a main umbrella development agency to expand the provision of social services into the area of health, water and sanitation and youth development. Teachers Awards is one major project undertaken annually by the Otumfuo Osei II Charity Foundation. With this, teachers and educational workers in rural communities were appreciated annually by His Royal Majesty for their selflessness and commitment to be in our villages and hamlets to offer their services. The King, after his historic invitation to the United Nations General Assembly in September 2019, reorganized his social development initiatives.
Since my ascension to the Golden Stool some 20 years ago, it has long dawned on me that it will be unrealistic to expect government alone, with its limited resources and term limits, to be able to confront these multifaceted developmental challenges. Consequently, I have taken a number of initiatives on my own in several areas. I set up the Otumfuo Education Fund to generate resources to provide opportunities for quality primary, secondary, tertiary, and vocational education, not only in my domain, but Ghana generally. Additionally, I set up a Teachers Award scheme to encourage teachers in rural communities and motivate them to focus on teaching our wards well. Health, water, and sanitation. I later set up the Sewampim AIDS Foundation for children under the leadership of my spouse, Lady Julia Osei II, to help children who have become victims of the HIV/AIDS pandemic. These two bodies have now been merged under the umbrella of Otumfuo Osei II Charity Foundation.
And by this, the Education Fund and Charity Foundation metamorphosed into the Otumfuo Osei II Foundation with the new Board of Trustees chaired by Nana Professor Oheniba Boachi A.J. Wahine II, who is also Otumfuo Hiahine.
When I came on board about 3-4 years ago, realizing the diversity of programs and projects, I decided to restructure the board and also to metamorphose all the different agencies into one foundation. So our thematic areas of education and health, water and sanitation, culture and heritage are all embodied under the auspices of the Otumfuo Osei II II Foundation.
The Otumfuo Osei II Foundation, in continuance of the success story, streamlined its operations by the guidance of its mission into thematic areas of education, health, water, and sanitation, entrepreneurship, as well as culture and heritage. Education, which is the flagship area of operation under the focal disciplines of the foundation, has different projects such as Otumfuo Scholarship Recipient Program for Higher Learning, Teachers Awards, mass distribution of textbooks to students in first and second cycle schools, Otumfuo Community Reading Challenge, provision of education infrastructure, setting up of artificial intelligence AI centers, and education for us all, E for USA program, as well as ICT education for rural communities, which is Otumfuo Agro-Eco Mobile Learning Project. This project, sponsored by Ecom Ghana Limited, is a computer literacy program for basic schools in rural communities with emphasis on cocoa growing areas. The school children in each community visited are exposed to basics in computer in line with Ghana Education Services curriculum for BECE. The community farmers are given education on good farming practices through a farmers forum with agric extension officers invited to educate the community farmers on good farming practices to improve their cocoa yield.
Yeda Otumfuo osei tutu the second ase sawa boa ye na menya akwanya ye faso use computer masa share kwanya ye be faso everyday the achechefo abamo mo say the way be say use laptop mouse keyboard any dwuma de computer
da me ba dem ha me hu say mo set mo ICT equipment laptop akoda be ye duonu nkrunkwa aduasa no obi biara won separate laptop tinanim okura ne mouse ne bibi biara ho na me koma to me yam ne me ka ene se yesere nyame nshira kese ema ye nana asante hene.
Quality health provision is another thematic area that Otumfuo Osei to the Second Foundation operates. Projects such as COVID-19 Trade Safe, Stay Alive, which was a campaign to mitigate the spread of COVID-19 in markets in various communities within Greater Kumasi, and also distributes PPEs to the market people. Provision of health infrastructure such as the construction of 30-bed Menshia maternity block, payment of hospital bills for mothers at MBU at Konfanochi Teaching Hospital during International Day of Families on May 15th every year. Free screening of breast in the month of October dubbed as Santiman Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and many more. The Dental Outreach Project, a partnership with Smiles for Everyone Foundation USA, which began over a decade ago, involves providing dental and oral education and services with a focus on pupils and students in hard-to-reach communities. The dental services provided for these school children are screening, scaling, and polishing, as well as extraction of tooth. This project is still ongoing, impacting the lives of children in rural communities.
Over the years, you have made a lot of impacts. We've seen people happy, and we saw people smiles, and people who don't even know they have problems. We have been able to pick them up and treat them.
Otumfuo yi aboapo adwumayefo ekukudamko edoma be school yi mu a omo be hwehwe emofrase do wo program bia mo yema no do we hia say yetu yama na duro the ese pawo na enum no lawo go amanikama nti ade anana ye amaye no ye ni age ye ni aso abo ya de ni enti ase sunpo ye nsusu say ye nso ebi be hwe ye so.
With water and sanitation, the foundation, in its drive over the years, has collaborated with Anglican Church USA to provide sanitary facilities for some senior high schools, partnered with World Health Organization to provide treated water plant to 27 communities between 2011 and 2013. The foundation again constructed 116 boreholes in 67 urban and rural communities with Guinness Brewery Ghana Limited between 2012 and 2018. SG Bank Ghana Limited and Harambee International Development, an American NGO, are presently in collaboration with the foundation, having constructed 5 mechanized boreholes at schools in rural communities. Youth development through entrepreneurship is another area of focus by the King's Foundation. The foundation partnered with MasterCard Foundation and Global Community through Yedie Project to train more than 6,000 youth in 16 trade models, after which 3,127 of those graduated were employed by masters of industry to work in their areas of competence. The foundation is in collaboration with World University Service of Canada, implementing Invest in Her under the Innovation of Vocational Education and Skills Training Invest project, in which urban poor women between the ages of 15 and 35 years are trained in male-dominated trades as auto mechanic, electricals, heavy machine operations, welding and fabrication, computer hardware engineers.
So the Otumfuo Foundation really has done a lot. We couldn't be happier with our partnership with them. They have really stepped in to allow us to, one, enter into communities and to start the conversation around gender roles and dynamics and how we can equip our young population to be self-sufficient. And in doing so, they really started to enroll a number of young girls from the communities onto our training programs. So without them, we wouldn't have been able to initially get the public buy-in that we were desiring.
Me take course be a friend or invest in her program through Otumfuo Foundation. I am young to invest in her and I just say, Ma, you are a mere ma. I'm with person me a member. Na many Jehu, and Mam Kushia is created cheap. I'm not dometimary, I cram lances. I do my Kobe, I feel more David Water. They say me operator or David Water Company Limited. Me say, Meda Otumfuo say to us. Na me sunti na maya nsane adwuma enye ono ananka sese metifie ayame adom ono nti no sese me adwuma ewo David Water Company Limited intimida mama ase ana pia.
Otumfuo to the second foundation, and our king's legacy is to build the next generation, build capacity so that we will have a nation with prepared men and women who are well trained, especially with the scholarship program for tertiary education, to come and deliver services that the nation needs. We need leaders for the country, and they can only come from well-trained backgrounds with support which the foundation is providing.
In 2022, I served as the International Programs Manager for the Memphis in May International Festival. During the festival, we paid tribute to the Republic of Ghana, and our honored, esteemed guest was His Royal Majesty Otumfuo II, the Asante Hene. One of his key areas of focus was to make sure that he could ensure pathways to educational opportunities for Ghanaian students. Hence today, we now have a collaboration between the University of Memphis and the Otumfuo Foundation.
I'm a King Scholar, and I'm doing my PhD in biology at the Brown Lab at the University of Memphis. And I am so grateful to the King and the scholarship, the foundation, for all the support and how they've brought all of us together.
I am really grateful to the Otumfuo Foundation and its entourage for establishing a funding agency like this. Being a King Scholar had been a transformative event for me, and we are really grateful to the King and his entourage for instituting such a scholarship scheme.
The Otumfuo Osei the Second Foundation, after its impactful achievement for the past 25 years, has shaped the lives of hundreds of thousands of people and brought hope to many communities in Ghana. The foundation is relentless in bridging gaps between urban and rural people with the implementation of projects and programs that are geared towards enhancing, improving the livelihood of the masses.
Na